What's up, guys? This is Christian Brindle with Six Figure Medicare Agent, and I know you've been waiting for this one. This is our first episode and first rendition of Medicare lead reviews, where I personally use my own money out of my own pocket to buy leads with various different lead companies that sell Medicare health plan leads of various different types. I work them myself, and I make sure that we do everything we can to give you the best and most unbiased quality reviews of these Medicare leads so you guys can know if you want to buy these leads or not buy these leads, okay? I'm basically putting myself out there, spending my own money, so that way you guys can know what lead companies are good and what lead companies are bad. The first lead company that I reviewed was Secure Agent Leads. Now, this was a company that kind of got on my radar in 2019, relatively recently. A lot of these lead companies I've been aware of for a lot of years since I've started in the business in 2014. And Secure Agent Leads, guys, the way that I got familiar with this company was one of my best friends, one of my closest friends that works in the office with me, that started in the business with me, found Cody Askins on YouTube. I believe it was YouTube that he found him on, and if I'm wrong about that, I'll be happy to correct this. But he brought Cody Askins to my attention, showed him to me, showed me his content. For those of you who don't know, Cody has a lot of content, and he has multiple different insurance-based companies that do a lot of different things, from website optimization to managing marketing for people, from funnels to landing pages to all different kinds of businesses. And his company that sells leads is Secure Agent Leads. Now, I tried them for the first time in AEP of last year, 2019, and I had very good success with them. But I wanted to base my review solely on this specific lead batch and lead order that I placed in January, okay? Now, Cody's somebody that I like a lot personally. Cody was so nice enough to come on and do an interview on the Everything Medicare Podcast with me last year in 2019, and it was a fantastic conversation. And Cody's just someone that puts out a lot of content to help insurance agents. His YouTube channel, as you can see, has over 12,000 subscribers. He has over 2.6 million views, and him and Landon McCarter basically run their companies together. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but they do a lot of things. And Cody's someone that's accomplished a lot in the business. He made six figures in his first year, as many of you may know. And we're going to be having Cody on in a couple weeks, actually, to do an interview on this channel to talk about what you can do better in your business and kind of what it takes to be successful in the insurance game. So Cody's someone that's definitely got the credibility. He's somebody that knows what he's talking about. He's someone that's got his fingers dipped in all different kinds of aspects in the insurance industry. Let's take a look at Secure Agent Leads real quickly. So about Cody Askins, at just 28 years old, Cody Askins owns and operates 4 insurance-based companies. I think this is a little outdated, but grossing over $5 million in sales, growing up in the insurance industry. Cody worked with his dad like me, so we have that in common. Cody set a goal to make $100,000 in his first year, and he did it, and we all kind of know Cody's story if you're familiar. If you're not, you can go check him out yourself. But basically, Cody's companies put out a tremendous amount of content, whether it be a podcast, YouTube channel, all different kinds of things. They interview top producers, and they really do a lot to go out of their own way to give you a lot of free information on how you can be successful, whether you buy from them or not. And that's something that I think just has to be factored into this, okay? Actually, when I interviewed Cody on the Everything Medicare podcast in 2019, off the record, he gave me some fantastic advice that's really helped me out a lot, as I'm a content creator, an insurance-based content creator myself, not to the level that Cody is. But I remember after the interview was over and it was off the record and we were just talking on the phone, just me and him, he asked me, he said, "Are you putting this podcast on YouTube?" At the time I wasn't. It was just audio and going on about 15 different websites at the time, and we had gotten pretty good traction and a lot of growth and a lot of traffic to the podcast that time. He said, "Why aren't you putting it on YouTube?" And I was like, I don't know. He's like, "You don't even have to video it. Just take the audio, put a background picture on it, and throw up every single episode." I think at that point we had 80 to 90 episodes of the podcast. And at the time I was like, oh, that's going to be a lot of work for us. And he was like, I know it's going to be a lot of work, but in 6 months from now, you'll be completely pleased with the results. And I think he was definitely right about that. Now we're actually videoing the podcast. Every time we do it, it's probably getting maybe 30 to 40 times more views than it was originally on YouTube. Our videos are getting more views that are not related to the podcast, that are separate. Our subscribers have gone up 10 times what they were before. Now we're still on, the slow pace of kind of building an insurance branded channel on YouTube, which is a little saturated in that kind of stuff. But it's definitely helped, and he was completely spot on, and that was just him giving me a tip, man to man, and I really appreciated that. Definitely got to factor all of this stuff and this integrity and just this willingness to serve and give into my review and into my decision on kind of what grade we're going to be given Secure Agent Lead. So this is the criteria on which we're going to be judging these lead companies on. 1, being the quality of leads. 2, being the customer service that's provided by the lead company. Number 3, the convenience to the agent. How easy is it for the agent overall? And number 4, how fair is the price? Now, I'm not going to be taking into consideration comparing it to the price of generating your own leads through your own marketing or own Facebook advertising or any type of social media advertising. This is just strictly in comparison to other lead companies and kind of how it matches up kind of in general. Each category will be rated between 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, and then they'll be averaged together to give the lead company a score of 1 to 10. Each category will make up 25% of the overall score. One thing I wanted everybody to keep in mind is my numbers do not necessarily reflect to new agents' expected results from any particular lead company. I've been doing this a long time, so my numbers sometimes when we do these videos are going to be exactly what my numbers should be for someone that's been in the business as long as me. But at the same time, my numbers might not be as high as you might expect them to be because I am not somebody that has all the time in the world to call every lead 10 times and go to the door. One thing that Cody's company teaches is you want to do everything you can to get a hold of the lead, and I completely agree with that, especially if you're a new agent and you're just hungry for the business. Now, I have an established book of business. I run an agency. I have employees. I have different responsibilities. I host the podcast. We do it 3 times a week. We do all kinds of video content and YouTube channels and just everything that we do, and we also provide a tremendous amount of customer service here at our agency to our existing clients. So I'm a busy guy. So what my process was I called each and every lead an average of 3 times. I encourage you to call them more, especially if you have the time to do that. I think you should be calling each lead at least 6 times. But 3 times through gave me an idea on if what I wanted to say and kind of what our review was going to be. We worked the leads as hard as we could, and also the criteria was I was doing a combination of going to their home, and I was also doing a combination of phone sales. What we did was we did 50 leads order, 25 leads here in my home state of Utah, actually within about a 50-mile radius of my office, so they were very local. And the other 25 of them were in Texas, okay, so out of state because I'm trying to obtain more clients in Texas, okay, and grow my book a little bit out there from a diversity standpoint. So there's a lot of different factors here. If you're a new agent, you probably don't want to start out doing phone sales because typically it's easier, in my opinion, to sell clients in your home market, okay? So there's a lot of different factors that kind of go into kind of what our results ended up being. The fact that we went through and only called them 3 times, which we should have called them 6 times. Cody's company also preaches that you want to make sure that you're texting every single lead. We did that. We texted each of them twice. You want to make sure you're emailing them. We did that. We made sure that we were emailing them several times, okay? He also says that you should go to the door. I did not do that. Did not have time to do that, so take that into consideration that if I did absolutely everything that I encourage you to do, that these numbers could be a heck of a lot higher. Okay, so Secure Agent Leads does real-time internet-based leads where basically they run advertisements. I believe they do it for the most part on Facebook, but I don't know everything about kind of how they generate the leads, but I believe they do Facebook for a large portion, if not all of them. And they have people fill out a form, and it's a real-time internet-based leads, like a lot of lead companies. What I can say, as someone that's worked with a lot of lead companies in my career that's had a similar kind of approach. Now, a lot of them haven't done them on Facebook. A lot of them have done it on their various websites and things like this. I think Secure Agent Leads probably has some of the highest quality of leads that you can get. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to run into people with these leads that are necessarily, gonna come with the whole excuse of, well, I didn't fill out anything, when they know damn well that they did. You get that with all of these lead companies. But for the most part, though, you get people that are filling these forms out with high intent. They typically qualify a fairly large percent of the time, and they're actually people that are relatively interested buyers, and that's what I have found the 2 times that I've bought leads, but especially with this batch, we got relatively interested people. We were able to qualify some of them over the phone and disqualify them, so take that into consideration as well. We were able to kind of determine that they were on the best thing that they could possibly be on based on their particular situation. We did run into about 4 or 5 of those, and we were able to reach people, though, pretty successfully. And these were people that were, real people with high intent, that were actually interested parties. They didn't feel like they were tricked into filling something out. They didn't feel like they were filling something out that had nothing to do with anything, or they weren't expecting a phone call. I'd say 99% of them knew what they were filling out. And I think that's incredibly important for you as an agent, because if you're calling a bunch of leads and they filled something out, that was like, enter your name and number for a chance to win a contest, and then as soon as they fill it out, it says, thank you, a Medicare agent will be calling you. Then they're like, son of a bitch! There are lead companies like that. This is not one of them, okay? The people have extremely high intent, and they're qualified buyers, and they're interested buyers. So, in my opinion, I would give Secure Agent Leads a 10 out of 10 in this category. Now, let's talk about the customer service of this company, Secure Agent Leads. How do they take care of the agent? Okay, this is our second criteria, if you will, that we're going to be looking into to kind of give them a grade. So what I can say is, like most lead companies, they assign you an account manager. Okay, Cody's people are really trained well, and their account managers are really, really good salespeople. Okay, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because they're trying to work with you, they're trying to negotiate with you. One thing that I can say is, they were able to kind of work with me on prices. They we're open to it. It was almost like it was open to negotiation a little bit the 2 times I bought with them, which you don't usually see with a lot of lead companies. The price is the price and that kind of stuff, which I particularly actually like a lot as an agent. I like a company that is, willing to kind of talk about it. And now, of course, you don't want to call them up and say, I want half off or anything like that. Don't be ridiculous about it. But they were willing to kind of cut me deals and things like that. And, and I really did like that about them. Now, on top of that, there were a couple leads that, were disconnected phone numbers that were accidentally generated from a state that we didn't order in. We ordered in Utah and Texas, like I said. And I send an email to my account manager. He gets back to me immediately. And they not only replaced them, but they threw a couple of extra leads on top of that. That's great service, okay? They're replacing the leads. They do it at a large margin. Now, if you're returning every single lead, they do have a limit to that. Every lead company does, of how many leads they'll return. But just from a customer service side, I got to give them a 10 out of 10 for that. Convenience for the agent. Number 3 criteria that we're going to be judging Secure Agent Leads by. Now, I think that there's a lot of things that are good about Secure Agent Leads that make it convenient for an agent, and there are a couple of things that I don't particularly love from a convenience standpoint. The things that I do like is if I place a lead order, I'm going to start getting those leads immediately. I think it only took about 2 days before I started receiving leads, okay? I did not have to wait very long. And so if you're in a position that you need leads quick, fast, and in a hurry, let's say you have an opportunity, let's say it's AEP and you have a lead order that got screwed up or something with another company, and you're just, not saying that they'd be able to handle that perfectly because everyone's so busy during AEP. I'm just giving you an example. They got me my leads super fast the last 2 times. And actually why I bought from them in the first place during AEP, the first lead order we did, and I know we're not judging that based on this, but this is just an example. That was actually the situation that I found myself in. We put a lot of lead money in Facebook advertising, different other kinds of advertising that we do, but we also bought leads from another lead company that didn't work out the way we planned. And we had to get with them kind of last second to kind of save our AEP a little bit and kind of hit our goals and our numbers that we wanted to hit. And thanks to them, we did, because we were able to get our leads so quickly. So I think that is great. I think that's very convenient. The way that they do it is they actually email you a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet that is shared with them. And essentially, with that Excel spreadsheet, you have your leads populate in there as they come in. Now, let me talk about the things I don't necessarily love from a convenience standpoint of this company. I don't like how they don't have a way to integrate with my CRM, okay? In the past, when we bought real-time internet leads through other lead companies, they've been able to kind of integrate and with my CRM, with my company's CRM, our database, to where they automatically will go into my CRM. My CRM automatically creates a lead without me having to do anything, and then it automatically starts sending them automated emails automatically. Secure Agent leads cannot do that at this moment, and so at least that's what they told me. And so we had to make sure that we were putting the leads in and creating the lead and putting in the person's information ourselves, which kind of took more time than I typically would like. I did not necessarily love that portion of it. And also, they're not the type of internet lead that you can turn on and off, okay? They're going to come in at any time. So you may get some leads at 3 in the morning or midnight or something like that. And some of our leads did come in late at night when I didn't want to work, when I was at home with my 8-month-old daughter and my wife, okay? And I didn't call them till the next morning. That may have hurt me, potentially. Now, if you're the type of agent that you have nothing to do, you have no home life, or you can just drop everything you're doing and call them at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, that might not be a problem. But I always liked, in the past when I've worked with internet leads, that gave me the option to turn it on and off, not that they come in as they come in and I don't have any say on it. So the 2 things that I'm going to dock them for is they come in without being able to turn them on and off as they come in. They're just real time, really are real time. And the second thing is they don't integrate with the CRM. If they integrated with the CRM, as soon as the lead was submitted, that would go to my CRM. My CRM would automatically create a lead, and then it would begin what's known as automated workflow emails, which would send them email after email after email and just hammer them and hammer them and hammer them until we were able to get in touch with them. So because of that, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10 in the convenience department. Last but not least are the prices for these leads, okay? So there's different types of leads out there. There are some leads you can find for $10 a lead, but typically those are going to be shared leads where they're shared with multiple different agents, sometimes as much as 10 to 15 to 20, and the lead company will tell you they're only sharing them with 4 or 5 or 6. So of course you can find cheaper leads out there than Secure Agent leads. However, that being said, as far as exclusive leads are concerned, I think the prices are phenomenal that Secure Agent leads offers. During AEP, they were offering me $10 a lead for the entire state of Texas, and typically you would get a lower price if you're doing the entire state of an area than if you're doing just a specific market. So I think we paid, and I could be wrong about this, but I think we paid anywhere between $26 to $28 per lead for the 25 leads we got in Utah, specifically because I did not want statewide leads. I wanted leads within a 25 to 50 mile radius of our office. So those cost a little more, but I was fine with that. Any lead company would kind of judge that based on the criteria. It's always going to be cheaper to do an entire state than just one specific area. And then in Texas, I think we were looking at about $17 to $18 a lead for the entire state of Texas. Now, this was, of course, after AEP. It would have been cheaper if I bought them in AEP, but I was fine with that. So I think price-wise, as far as exclusive leads are concerned, the prices are incredibly fair. I was very, very pleased with what we ended up paying and basically what we got in return. So because of that, I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10 on price. Definitely think the prices that they offer are incredibly fair. Now, before I give you the total of the score for secure agent leads, I wanted to show you exactly what our numbers were. My numbers were specifically. I was working these leads myself because I wanted to be able to give you an honest review of my experience, not somebody else's experience. We had somebody offer, be like, well, I have notes on all these. I can just share them with you and, save you your money. I don't want to do that, guys. I want to have my own experience because my experience might be different than yours. And I don't want to just take someone's word for it that I don't know that well. I want to experience it myself. I want to see how good these leads are and just work them myself. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm an incredibly busy person. I did not work them as hard as I would as if I was a new agent. So we could have gotten more, I believe, much more than we actually did. But I do think it was a very, very profitable lead order for us, especially taking place during OEP when we had opportunities to write people that we won't be able to write after March is over. Our results were pretty simple. So out of the appointments we got about 10 appointments the first go round. Out of those appointments, we wrote 7 either Medicare Advantage applications or Medicare Supplement applications. 5 were in Utah, 2 were in Texas. We sold 2 dental vision hearing applications. Now, we're not done. I just wanted to get this video out to you guys so we can kind of start our next one. But we still have 5 appointments scheduled in the next 2 weeks as a result of these leads, whether it be over the phone with somebody in Texas or whether it be in person, either someone coming to the office or us going to see them here in Utah. Okay, so we could still get a heck of a lot more business than this. This is not over. We also have 7 follow-ups. Anytime you're working leads, you typically run into people that filled out the form that are turning 65 in a year, 2 years, 6 months from now. They might not necessarily be in their window as of yet, but they're relatively close. We had a couple of those. We typically got those with every lead order. We had a conversation, really, really connected, really hit it off, the prospect and myself. And so over the next year and a half, we have those follow-ups, those 7 follow-ups that could also turn into applications down the road. The gold is in the follow-ups, so that's in my calendar to follow up with those. I don't have time to wait a year and a half to finish this video for you guys, so there's our numbers. Here's a couple clips from me talking to prospects on the phone that came as a result of these leads, and then we'll do our final score of secure agent leads.
Gotcha. I see. So that one probably isn't, that one wouldn't be any less through GoodRx. It would probably be the same, or if not more. So that probably wouldn't do us any good. That one would have to be paid for out of pocket, but none of the other medications really concern me. Now, not to say that they'll be free. They might be $1 a piece. They're not going to be tremendously better than what you're planning doing now, it sounds like. But what I think you would get that you're not getting now is I think your medical benefits would be great, just through the roof. I think you're going to have full medical coverage for pretty much everything you need. So when you do have your heart surgery, you shouldn't have to pay anything out of pocket for it, which is really going to make a big difference. And then I think having the over-the-counter item benefits of the $250 every 3 months is going to make a big difference. the preventative dental, even though it's just preventative dental, that'll help. That'll pay for your cleanings, teeth cleanings. There's eyeglass coverage. There's hearing aid coverage. There's a lot of that stuff on this plan. But it's the main way that you can get the help you need without paying a premium fee. It's probably going to give you the best medical prescription coverage of any Medicare plan you can have in your area. And it's going to give you the extra stuff too that will help out. Like since you're taking the over-the-counter items already right now, they're going to give you that $250 allowance every 3 months, so that will help there. There's just going to be all types of situations that this plan will help out with. I really think it would be a good thing for you. I'm with you. I'm in a complete agreement to that. But I'll see what I can do to help. What kind of plan do you have now? Let's start there. Okay. And I take it that's probably an Advantage plan. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So, part of the difficulty you're having. So it's an electric scooter that you're needing. Is that right? We're third party. We work with all of the different insurance companies here locally, and we're basically an agency that works with people just like you. We try to help them find the best available fit. It's fairly common for things like, for certain types of durable medical equipment like that they actually do a rent-to-own kind of system. But that would probably be...
That's what I had heard, and I can't seem to find it. We're leaving in February for Disneyland. Well, I've got to go down to see my granddaughter. She's a cheerleader.
Okay.
And she's at the finals in February. Then we're going in June.
Gotcha.
To watch my grandson play baseball at Cooperstown. So
right.
I was there 2 years ago, and I just couldn't keep up. I could not walk around everything.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that's tough. I was wondering if maybe I could come by a little bit later on this week, and I can kind of show you what our options might be, and maybe we can find something that would help a little better, and then I can also bring some documentation with me on how this exactly would work on the new plan. I mean, it would still follow Medicare guidelines, but at the very least, we might know exactly what the process will be to getting you what you need and kind of what they'll approve, what they won't approve, and that kind of stuff. I mean, do you have any time later on this week? I mean, the best day for me is Friday. I'm a little booked up tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got to go down to, I work, I'm kind of tied up.
Okay.
With them.
I mean,
and practices and everything else goes on. Yeah.
Is there any day that is convenient for you? I mean, I can try to cater to your schedule best I can. I mean, what I think would make it easier.
Stop.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can stop work anytime I want to, really, during the day, except Friday's a very bad day.
Okay.
That'd be perfect. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then.
Yeah.
I'm happy to come to you if that's more convenient for you.
Okay.
Or if it's easier for you, you're welcome to come to the office. Whatever's comfortable for you is fine with me.
It doesn't matter. Where's your office at?
So we're in Sandy. So we're just off of 90th South and 700 East. If you'd like to come here, that's perfectly fine. I mean, whatever's.
Yeah, because I'm on.
Well, our office. Yeah, I mean, we can do it here. Our office address. Do you have a pen?
I don't. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so our office address is 80.
Okay.
All righty. Well, I will plan on that. Yes, Monday the 20th at 11 o'clock. Was that what you had, or did you have a different time?
That's fine. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if anything comes up, just let me know. I'm pretty flexible. But, yeah, I mean, we can kind of sit down and kind of see what our options are, and we can kind of go from there.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Hey, certainly. I mean, the pleasure's all mine. I'll do everything I can to help you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, my pleasure.
Just a few clips from a phone call I had with someone in Texas that was looking at a special needs plan, the only one in her county, kind of a rural county, and then also somebody locally here in Utah that kind of started off the call complaining about the government and everything like that, and we kind of just steered the conversation into kind of what the solution could be instead of necessarily the problems and everything like that. Just a couple clips for the privacy and the safety of the people that I was talking to. I did not include the full conversations, of course, and you guys wouldn't even want to see that. They were pretty long conversations, so I just kind of put in bits and pieces of things, that you can kind of see how the conversation was going. Now it's time to give our final score for Secure Agent leads, and they scored a 9.25 out of 10, all things considered, which is absolutely fantastic, seeing though that 10 is basically perfect. There's no perfect lead company. I'll be shocked if we ever give anybody a 10, because realistically speaking, there's so many different aspects and there's so many different things that come into the equation when it comes to providing good leads. There's a quality of your customer service, there's a convenience factor, and it's very, very hard for a lead company to kind of nail every single category 100%. I guarantee you there's a lot of lead companies we're going to be reviewing that are not going to rank this high. This is, of course, my opinion, my review, my company's review, my experience. We had a great experience. It was very profitable for us. And I'm very appreciative to Cody Askins and Secure Agent Leads for doing business with us and giving us a great batch of leads that we were able to be profitable on. And we got some great new clients out of it. And I have a feeling we're going to be able to get a lot more as a result of this lead batch because of the follow-ups and the appointments that I mentioned earlier on. In closing, guys, I think Secure Agent Leads is a very, very good lead company. This will be my 6th year. I'll be doing this 6 years in July of 2020 this year as I talked to you about this. We're in January right now. But in my 5.5 years in the insurance business, I would say that I think Secure Agent Leads is probably at the very top as far as lead companies that I've worked with. They're very, very strong. If you're buying leads and you're looking for a good lead vendor, I think that they, especially for Medicare leads, exclusive Medicare leads, I think they're fantastic. They're fairly priced. They're good service. Everything we kind of talked about in the video. Head over to Cody Askins' channel, YouTube channel, subscribe to it. I'll leave a link down to that in the description. I had a lot of fun doing this. And do me a favor, if you got a lot out of this video, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel for future videos to kind of help you be successful and get you to 6 figures and above. And drop a comment down in the comment section on what lead company you'd like to see me review next. Thanks for watching.